Snake, why did you freeze the accounts? My husband screamed, slamming his phone down on the kitchen bench so hard the cutlery drawer rattled. His face was red, blotchy, the way it got when his footy team lost or when the bloke at work dared question him. I didn't jump. I didn't apologize. I just stood there, barefoot on the cold tiles, holding my own phone like it was the only solid thing left in the room. The kettle was screeching behind me, forgotten, boiling itself dry. Outside, a neighbor's dog barked, and somewhere down the street a ute backfired. Normal sounds. Normal day. Except nothing about this was normal anymore. What did you do? He yelled again. You've locked me out of everything. Bills, cards, savings, all of it. I turned the kettle off slowly, deliberately. The calm annoyed him more than if I'd yelled back. I could see it in the way his jaw clenched, the way his fingers twitched like he wanted to throw something. For years, I'd rushed to smooth things over, to keep the peace. Not today. Lower your voice, I said. My throat felt tight, but my voice didn't shake. The kids are home. He laughed, sharp and nasty. Oh, now you care about the kids. You've just stuffed us, and you're talking about the kids. Stuffed us. The word echoed in my head. Funny how us only mattered now that he couldn't get to the money. The kids' bedroom doors were shut, but I knew they were listening. They always did when voices got raised. I hated that part the most, the way tension soaked into the walls of the house, the way they learned too young that grown-ups didn't always keep you safe. You had no right, he went on, pacing the kitchen. That money's mine too. You can't just decide things on your own. I looked at him then. Really looked. Same bloke I married in my early 20s, same broad shoulders, same loud confidence. But something was different. Or maybe it always had been, and I'd just refused to see it. The anger wasn't about survival or stress. It was about control slipping through his fingers. You should have talked to me, he said, jabbing a finger in my direction. Normal couples talk. I nearly laughed at that. Normal couples don't hide accounts. Normal couples don't watch one person skip meals while the other siphons money off in secret. I didn't freeze them to hurt you, I said carefully. I froze them because something wasn't right. He stopped pacing. His eyes narrowed. For a split second, just a flicker, something like fear crossed his face. Then it was gone, replaced by outrage. What are you on about? He snapped. You checking up on me now? Going through my stuff. There it was. The deflection. The attack. Same routine he always used when cornered. I held up my phone. The screen was still open on the banking app, numbers burned into my brain. I noticed money missing. That's it, he scoffed. You lock everything down over a few transfers. Jesus, you've lost it. A few transfers. I swallowed hard. My heart was thumping so loud I was sure he could hear it. He still didn't know how much I knew. Not yet. Part of me wanted to scream it all out, to rip the band-aid off and let it bleed. But another part, the part that had learned to survive, knew timing mattered. You didn't tell me about them, I said. I don't need your permission, he shot back. I work my ass off. And so do I said quietly. Just because I don't get paid in cash doesn't mean it's not work. That landed. He hesitated, just for a moment. The room felt thick, like before a storm breaks. The kettle clicked as it cooled. My hands were steady now. Whatever happened next, the truth was already moving, already impossible to stop. He didn't know I'd found out. But he was about to. That arvo had started like any other, rushed, noisy, and stretched thin. I'd done the school run, ducked into Coles for half-price mints, and argued with myself over whether we could afford a roast or if Spag Bowl would have to do again. By the time I pulled into the servo car park to wait for pickup, my head was pounding. Life felt like one long list of maybe next week. I sat in the car with the engine off, windows down, hot air rolling in. A tradie was filling up at the next Bowser, radio blaring some shock jock rant. I reached for my phone out of habit, planning to transfer a bit from savings to cover the power bill that was due. Nothing dramatic, just another quiet juggle to keep things afloat. The app loaded slowly, the little circle spinning while my patience thinned. When it finally opened, my stomach dropped so hard it felt like I'd missed a step on the stairs. The balance was wrong, not a little wrong, very wrong. I refreshed the screen, thinking it was a glitch. Bad reception, dodgy app, it happened all the time. But the numbers didn't change. My chest tightened as I clicked into the transaction history. That's when I saw them. Transfers. Regular ones. Clean, deliberate amounts, moved out every few weeks like clockwork. I stared at the screen, heart thumping in my ears. I scrolled back further. And further, months' worth. What the hell? I whispered, alone in the car. The account they were going into wasn't one I recognized. Not our joint savings. Not a bill account. It had his name on it, and next to it, a single letter. An initial. Not mine. My hands started shaking. I dropped the phone into my lap, like it had burned me. For a minute, I just sat there, breathing through my nose, staring at the steering wheel. Maybe there was a reasonable explanation. Maybe it was a work thing. A temporary account. Something he'd forgotten to mention. But deep down, I knew. That cold, heavy knowing settled in my gut before my brain could argue back. I picked the phone up again, forcing myself to keep looking. The amounts added up fast. Money I'd been scraping by without. Money I'd explained away to the kids when they asked why we couldn't do footy camp or a weekend away. Money I'd replaced with excuses and second-hand uniforms. My throat burned. I felt stupid, angry, embarrassed, all at once. A car horn blared nearby, snapping me back. I checked the time. School pickup was in 10 minutes. I wiped my face, realizing tears had slipped out without me noticing. There was no space to fall apart. Not here. Not now. I took screenshots. Every transfer. Every date. My hand steadied as I worked, something sharp and focused cutting through the shock. Evidence. Proof. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do with it yet, but I knew one thing: I wasn't going to be gaslit into thinking I'd imagined it. Then I did something I'd never done before. I clicked into the account settings. The authority was shared. Joint. My name was still on it. My finger hovered over the restrict access option. My heart hammered. Was this too much? Was I overreacting? Years of being told I was dramatic and reading into things came flooding back. I thought of the pantry at home, half empty. The school email asking for excursion money. The way he'd shrugged last week and said, "We just have to tighten our belts." I pressed the button. The app asked me to confirm. I confirmed. Just like that, it was done. The silence in the car felt deafening. No fireworks. No alarm. Just a quiet click and a message saying access had been temporarily restricted. I let out a shaky breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. For the first time in months, maybe years, something shifted. I wasn't fixing things for him. I wasn't covering. I was protecting. The kids spilled out of the school gate a few minutes later, backpacks bouncing, faces bright. I smiled for them, like always, and waved them into the car. They had no idea anything had changed, but as I pulled out of the car park, I knew it had. He didn't know yet, but he would. The house felt wrong the moment we walked in. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that buzzes in your ears and makes every small sound too loud. School bags hit the floor, shoes kicked off, the kids arguing over whose turn it was on the iPad. Normal chaos. I clung to it, because I knew it was about to disappear. He came home not long after. I heard the ute before I saw him, engine revving harder than usual, door slamming like the house had personally offended him. My stomach tightened, but I kept stirring the pot on the stove, pretending I was just focused on dinner. Then he checked his phone. "What the hell?" he muttered at first. Then louder, "What the hell have you done?" I turned off the stove and faced him. This was it. He stormed into the kitchen, waving his phone like proof of some great injustice. "I can't access the accounts. Cards aren't working." "What did you do?" "I know," I said. "Just that. 2 words." He blinked. "You know what? I know about the money." For a second, he just stared at me. Then he laughed. A short, sharp laugh. "You're kidding. This again. You're imagining things." "No," I said. "I'm not." I reached for my phone and laid it on the bench between us, screen lit up, screenshots ready. Transfers. Dates. Amounts. The secret account with that single, damning initial. The color drained from his face. He opened his mouth, closed it, then tried again. "It's not what you think." "There it is," I said quietly. "That line. You always use it." He ran a hand through his hair, pacing now, agitated. "It's complicated. You wouldn't understand." "I understand plenty," I said. "I understand that while I was budgeting down to the dollar, you were siphoning money out. I understand that while I told the kids, maybe next time, you were saying yes to someone else." His head snapped up. "Don't bring the kids into this. They're already in it," I shot back. "They live here. They hear us. They feel it." As if on cue, the hallway creaked. I glanced over and saw them, both of them, standing there, frozen. Eyes wide. My heart broke clean in two. "Go to your rooms," I said gently. "Please." They hesitated, looking between us, then slowly backed away. Doors clicked shut. The silence they left behind was heavy, suffocating. He lowered his voice then. "You're blowing this out of proportion." I let out a shaky laugh. "You paid rent for her." That stopped him cold. "You don't know that," he said, but his voice lacked any real conviction. "I do," I replied. "I know where the account leads. I know how much. I know how long." His shoulders slumped, just a fraction. The anger drained, replaced by something uglier, guilt, mixed with resentment. "It wasn't meant to happen like this," he muttered. "Oh, I'm sure," I said. "Was I ever meant to find out?" He snapped then. "I work hard. I deserve something for myself. Something. Not someone. Not a woman with needs and a life funded by our family's money. Just something." I felt he'd rush through me, years of swallowed anger boiling up. "You deserved honesty. You deserved to talk to me. Instead, you treated me like an idiot. Like I wouldn't notice." He looked away. "That told me everything. And the worst part," I continued, "it's not even the affair. It's that you let me struggle. You watched me stress over bills, skip things for myself, say no to the kids, and you let it happen." His voice was small now. "I didn't think it was that bad. That hurt more than anything. Because it meant he hadn't cared enough to look. I froze the accounts because I had to," I said. "Because I don't trust you anymore." He scoffed weakly. "You can't just take control like that." "I already did," I said. "And I'll do more if I have to." The kitchen clock ticked loudly between us. He looked older somehow. Smaller. Not the man who'd yelled earlier. Just someone who'd been caught and didn't know what move came next. "I don't know what you want," he said finally. I swallowed hard. "Neither do I. Not yet. But I know what I won't accept." From down the hall, I heard a door creak. A small cough. A reminder of what really mattered. And in that moment, standing in the wreckage of everything I thought we were, I knew this wasn't the end of the fight. It was the end of pretending. The house felt different once he left. Not quiet, just lighter, like something heavy had finally been dragged out the door with him. I stood in the hallway long after the ute disappeared down the street, the sound of it fading into the evening like it had never belonged here at all. My arms were crossed tight against my chest, not from cold, but from the shock of standing upright after years of bending. He didn't say much when he packed. A few muttered words. A slammed drawer. The zip of a bag pulled too hard. I didn't help him. I didn't stop him either. I watched from the doorway, heart hammering, reminding myself that this wasn't cruelty, it was consequence. When the door finally closed behind him, I waited. I half expected him to come back in, to knock, to shout, to accuse me of ruining everything. But he didn't. The silence settled in, awkward at first, then steady. I let out a breath I'd been holding for years. The kids crept out of their rooms like they were testing the air after a storm. My youngest wrapped her arms around my waist without saying a word. My eldest just stood there, trying to look brave, eyes flicking towards the door like he expected his dad to burst back in. "He's gone for a bit," I said softly. "But we're okay." I didn't know if they believed me. Hell, I wasn't sure I believed it myself yet. But I meant it. That night, I barely slept. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, listening to every creak of the house, replaying years of moments I'd brushed aside. The excuses. The tight budgets. The way I'd blamed myself for things that were never my fault. Anger came in waves, sharp and hot, followed by grief for the life I thought I had. By morning, the anger softened into resolve. I made school lunches like always, hands moving on autopilot. Peanut butter, apple slices, notes scribbled on scrap paper. The ordinary things grounded me. When the kids left, I sat at the kitchen table with a cup of coffee that went cold and opened my laptop. I booked a lawyer. Seeing the confirmation email land in my inbox felt surreal. Like I was stepping into someone else's life, a braver woman's life. But she was me now, whether I felt ready or not. Later that day, I walked through the house and noticed things I hadn't before. How cramped it felt. How much of myself I'd shrunk to fit around his moods. I opened windows, let fresh air in, and for the first time, the house felt like mine again. He texted once. Something vague. Something halfway apologetic but still defensive. I didn't reply. I wasn't ready to explain myself anymore. I'd done enough explaining to last a lifetime. That afternoon, the kids and I sat at the table doing homework. There was laughter, tentative at first, then real. The kind that bubbles up when no one's waiting for the mood to turn. I realized how often we'd all been holding our breath. I won't pretend it's all sorted. It's not. There are hard conversations ahead, legal stuff, money worries, and nights where the loneliness will hit hard. I know that. But I also know this, I won't go back to being small to keep someone else comfortable. Freezing the accounts wasn't revenge. It was survival. I didn't do it because I hated him. I did it because I loved my kids more than I feared change. Because I finally saw the truth and refused to look away. That night, after the kids were asleep, I stood in the kitchen and looked around at the mess, the crumbs, the fridge covered in drawings and magnets. It wasn't perfect, neither was I, but it was safe. And in this house, that's enough. Snakes don't get second chances here. Only honesty does.